Hello there, and welcome. You found a quiet place to rest tonight, and there's nothing you need to do now except let your body soften and your thoughts slow. Wherever you are, allow your shoulders to loosen, your jaw to relax, and your breathing to find a calm, easy rhythm. There's no rush, no expectation, just this moment gently unfolding. Tonight, you don't need to travel anywhere at all, because the journey comes to you. We're drifting through something vast and familiar at the same time, our home in space, the Milky Way galaxy. You don't need to picture everything clearly. Let the images arrive softly or not at all. The Milky Way is a great spiral of stars, gas, dust, and unseen matter turning slowly through the darkness. It has been forming, reshaping, and evolving for more than 13 billion years, long before Earth existed, long before there were eyes to look up and wonder. And yet here it is, surrounding you even now, carrying you gently through space as you rest. From Earth, the Milky Way appears as a pale, misty river of light stretched across the night sky. But that soft glow is only a hint. What you see is the combined light of billions of stars, hacked closely together along the flat disk of the galaxy. Each one shines quietly in its own place, moving in long, patient orbits around a distant center. Nothing here moves quickly. Everything takes its time. Our galaxy is vast beyond everyday imagination. From one side to the other, it spans more than 100,000 light years. Light itself, the fastest thing we know, takes 100,000 years to cross it. And still, the Milky Way is only one galaxy among countless others, drifting together in a universe that continues far beyond what we can see. You are not standing still within this structure. Even as you rest, the Earth is turning. The planet is moving around the sun, and the sun itself is traveling through the galaxy at remarkable speed. The entire solar system sweeps along at over 800,000 kilometers per hour, yet the journey feels perfectly calm. That's because space is wide and forgiving. Motion here is smooth, not sudden, silent, not loud. It takes the sun about 225 million years to complete one full orbit around the center of the Milky Way. This long path is known as a galactic year. In the time since the solar system formed, the sun has made fewer than 25 of these slow, graceful loops. When dinosaurs first walked the Earth, we were in a different part of the galaxy altogether, surrounded by different stars, under a slightly different sky. The Milky Way is not a fixed shape. From a distance, it might look like a neat spiral, but from within, it is layered and complex. The galaxy has broad spiral arms that curve outward from the center like soft ribbons. These arms are not solid structures. They are patterns, gentle waves of density that move through the disk, gathering gas and dust as they pass. When material becomes dense enough, stars are born, lighting up the arms in soft blues and whites before drifting onward. Between the arms lie quieter regions, places where stars are more spread out and motion feels slower. Our solar system lives in one of these regions, a modest structure called the Orion Spur. It sits between two larger arms, offering a relatively calm neighborhood where massive stellar explosions are less frequent. This gentle location may have allowed life on Earth the time it needed to grow and change without constant disruption. At the very center of the Milky Way lies something we cannot see directly, yet its presence is unmistakable. A supermassive black hole, known as Sagittarius at Asteris, rests there with a mass more than 4 million times that of the Sun. Despite its size, it occupies a space smaller than the orbit of Mercury. Around it, stars move in tight, fast paths, responding to a gravity so strong it shapes the heart of the galaxy itself. For now, this black hole is quiet. It does not consume everything around it. It simply waits, pulling gently, holding the core together like a silent anchor. Long ago, it may have been far more active, shining brilliantly as matter fell inward. Today, it sleeps, much like you are beginning to do. The Milky Way is wrapped in a vast halo that extends far beyond the visible disk. This halo contains ancient stars, globular clusters, and enormous amounts of dark matter. Dark matter does not glow or reflect light, yet it outweighs all the visible stars and gas combined. Without it, the galaxy would not hold together. Stars at the edges would drift away into space. Instead, they remain, bound by an invisible structure we are only beginning to understand. Some of the oldest stars in the Milky Way live in this halo. They are faint, metal poor, and incredibly ancient. formed when the universe was still young and simple. Their light carries information from a time before galaxies had settled into their familiar shapes. When astronomers study these stars, they are reading a kind of cosmic memory written quietly in light. The galaxy did not form all at once. Over billions of years, it grew by gathering smaller galaxies, drawing them in and slowly dismantling them. Their stars were stretched into long streams, wrapped around the Milky Way like ghostly ribbons. Even now, this process continues. The galaxy is still growing, still changing, still becoming. Everything here moves, but nothing hurries. Stars orbit, gas drifts, dust settles, time stretches wide and forgiving. There is no deadline written into the stars, no final rush. Only cycles, repeating gently across unimaginable spans of time. As you lie here, breathing softly, remember that your body is made from this same cosmic material. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the oxygen you breathe were all formed in stars long before the sun was born. You are not separate from the galaxy. You are part of it, resting inside one small moment of its long, patient story. And as the Milky Way continues its slow turn, carrying everything within it, you can let your thoughts grow lighter. There is nothing you need to hold on to right now. The galaxy is steady. The motion is gentle. You are safe to rest. Let your breathing slow just a little more. The stars will keep moving. The galaxy will keep turning, and you can drift quietly, carried along. As the galaxy continues its quiet turn, you can allow your thoughts to drift a little farther outward now, following the soft motion of stars as they move along their long, patient paths. Nothing here rushes. Each star follows gravity's gentle guidance, tracing invisible lines through space that take millions, sometimes billions, of years to complete. The Milky Way is not a place of sudden change. It is a place of slow becoming. Within the broad disk of the galaxy, stars do not all move at the same speed. Those closer to the center travel more quickly, while stars farther out take longer, wider paths. Yet, despite this difference, the spiral shape remains. This is because the arms themselves are not made of fixed stars. They are waves, subtle patterns of higher density moving through the disk, gathering gas and dust as they pass. Stars are born within these waves, shine for a time, and then drift onward, leaving the pattern intact behind them. These regions of star birth are known as stellar nurseries, vast clouds of cold gas and dust, drifting quietly through space, slowly collapse under their own gravity. Deep within these clouds, hidden from visible light, new stars begin their lives. The process is gentle and patient. Nothing ignites suddenly. Matter gathers. Heat builds. Light slowly emerges. Even creation, here, is unhurried. The Milky Way holds billions of such clouds, scattered throughout its arms. Some glow softly where young stars light up the surrounding gas. Others remain dark and quiet, waiting. Not every cloud becomes a star. Some drift for millions of years without change, silent possibilities floating through the galactic night. Over time, stars live out their lives and return their material to the galaxy. Smaller stars, like our sun, expand gently into red giants, shedding their outer layers into space. Larger stars end more dramatically, exploding as supernovae that briefly shine brighter than entire galaxies. These explosions do not bring destruction alone. They scatter heavy elements, iron, carbon, oxygen, into the surrounding space, enriching the gas that will one day form new stars and planets. In this way, the Milky Way is constantly recycling itself. Nothing is wasted. Matter moves from star to space, from space back to star, again and again. The atoms in your body were once part of ancient suns that lived and died long before Earth existed. You are made of the galaxy's memory. Beyond the disk, in the vast halo surrounding the Milky Way, stars move in very different ways. Some follow long, tilted orbits that take them far above and below the galactic plane. Others move in the opposite direction of the disk's rotation, orbiting backward, quietly revealing their origins. These stars were not born here. They arrived long ago, carried in by smaller galaxies that were slowly absorbed by the Milky Way's gravity. The galaxy remembers these encounters. It remembers them not with sound or light, but through motion, through the direction a star travels, through the elements it carries, through the thin streams of stars stretched across the sky, marking where another galaxy once passed too close. Even now, the Milky Way is not alone. It is part of a small family known as the local group, a collection of more than 50 galaxies bound together by gravity. The largest of these is Andromeda, a spiral much like our own, visible as a faint blur in dark skies. Slowly, very slowly, Andromeda is moving closer. In about 4.5 billion years, the Milky Way and Andromeda will meet. The word collision sounds violent, but the reality will be gentle and drawn out. Stars are so far apart that they will almost never strike one another. Instead, the shapes of both galaxies will stretch and fold, their arms curling into long arcs. Over time, they will merge into a single, larger galaxy, settling into a new, quiet form. Long before that distant future arrives, the Milky Way continues its steady rhythm. Gas flows inward from the space between galaxies, feeding star formation. Dark matter holds the structure together, unseen but essential. Magnetic fields thread through the disk, guiding charged particles and shaping the movement of dust. Invisible forces work quietly without sound or urgency. Much of the galaxy cannot be seen with human eyes. Dust blocks visible light, hiding entire regions from view. But in infrared and radio wavelengths, these hidden places reveal themselves. Cold hydrogen gas glows softly. Magnetic fields leave faint signatures. The galaxy hums with energy beyond sight, a quiet symphony playing across frequencies we can only just detect. Cosmic rays, high-energy particles born in distant explosions, stream through the Milky Way and pass through your body every second. Neutrinos, almost weightless and rarely interacting, slip through the Earth as if it were not there. These messengers carry stories from the deepest and most energetic places in the galaxy, crossing vast distances without disturbance. And still, despite all this motion and complexity, the Milky Way feels calm. This is because everything unfolds on timescales so vast they smooth away sharp edges. Events that seem dramatic in human terms become gentle ripples when stretched across millions of years. As you rest, you are held within this slow motion. Your worries, your plans, your thoughts belong to a much smaller scale. They are real, but they do not need your attention right now. The galaxy does not demand anything from you. It simply carries you along. Your breath moves in and out, steady and quiet. The stars continue their long orbits. Gas drifts. Light travels. Nothing needs to be solved in this moment. The Milky Way has existed for billions of years without hurry, and it will continue long after tonight has passed. You are allowed to rest within that continuity, to let the universe do the moving while you become still. And as the galaxy turns, you can drift with it, deeper into quiet, deeper into rest, knowing that everything important is already in motion, already unfolding, without any effort from you. The galaxy keeps turning, quietly and without effort, and you can let yourself turn with it now, drifting deeper into stillness as the motion continues around you. Nothing in the Milky Way ever truly stops, but most of its movement is so slow, so patient, that it feels almost like rest itself. Stars glide along their paths. Clouds of gas stretch and thin. Time opens wide. High above the galactic disk, the halo extends outward like a faint, invisible atmosphere. Here, stars are few and far between, scattered across enormous distances. Many of them are ancient, formed when the galaxy was still young and unsettled. Their light is dim and steady, not demanding attention. They move on long, looping orbits that take them far from the crowded plane of the disk, through regions where darkness is deep and quiet. Among these stars are globular clusters, dense spheres containing hundreds of thousands of tightly bound suns. They orbit the Milky Way like slow-moving lanterns, some more than 12 billion years old. Within them, stars live close together, yet even here, motion remains calm. Their orbits are stable, their patterns enduring, unchanged across vast stretches of time. The disk of the Milky Way itself is layered. Where you are in the thin disk, stars are younger on average and gas is more abundant. This is where new stars continue to form, where spiral arms trace their gentle curves. Above and below this lies the thick disk, a puffier, older structure, made of stars that formed under different conditions long ago. Their orbits tilt and stretch, carrying them slowly through space in paths shaped by ancient encounters. The galaxy is not perfectly flat. Its disk bends and warps, rising on one side and dipping on the other, like a slow wave frozen in motion. This warp was hidden for a long time, revealed only when astronomers mapped the faint hydrogen gas that extends beyond the visible stars. The cause is subtle, perhaps the influence of nearby satellite galaxies, perhaps the pull of dark matter. Whatever the source, the effect is gentle, another reminder that the Milky Way is flexible, responsive, alive in its own quiet way. Far beyond the disk, gas continues to flow in and out. When clusters of massive stars explode as supernovae, they can carve vast bubbles in the surrounding space, pushing hot gas upward into the halo. Over millions of years, this material cools and drifts back down, falling gently toward the disk once more. This slow circulation is sometimes called a galactic fountain, a breathing motion that redistributes matter and energy without hurry. Between the stars, the space that seems empty is anything but. The interstellar medium forms a thin web of gas, dust, and plasma, shaped by shock waves, magnetic fields, and stellar winds. It stretches into filaments and folds into clouds, forming structures that span many light years. Even in darkness, this medium is active, quietly preparing the conditions for future stars. Dust grains within this medium carry complex molecules, some of them organic in nature. These tiny particles form in the atmospheres of dying stars and in the cold depths of space, drifting across the galaxy for millions of years. When new stars and planets form, this material becomes part of them. The chemistry that allows life to exist is not rare or isolated. It is woven throughout the Milky Way, scattered gently through its clouds. Not all planets remain close to stars. Some worlds are cast free, ejected from their systems by gravitational interactions. These rogue planets wander through the galaxy alone, cold and dark, yet still moving within the Milky Way's great structure. There may be billions of them, drifting silently through the halo and disk, unseen but present, following long, lonely paths through space. The galaxy also hums with energy beyond light. In radio waves, hydrogen gas reveals its presence across vast distances. Pulsars, rapidly spinning neutron stars, send out steady pulses like cosmic heartbeats, so precise they can be used as clocks. In X-rays and gamma rays, the most energetic events leave their signatures, marking places where matter has been compressed, heated, and transformed. Above and below the galactic center, enormous bubbles of high-energy radiation stretch tens of thousands of light years into space. These structures, faint and ghostly, are echoes of powerful events in the galaxy's past. They may have formed when the central black hole was more active or during a period of intense star formation. Now, they drift silently, fading slowly, reminders that even the calmest systems have chapters of greater intensity behind them. Despite these moments, the present Milky Way is in a quieter phase. Star formation has slowed compared to its early history. Gas remains, but is more diffuse, less eager to collapse. The galaxy has settled into a kind of maturity, still creating new stars, but without urgency. There is time. There is patience. Your own star, the Sun, is part of this later chapter. It formed from gas enriched by generations of earlier stars, inheriting the elements necessary for rocky planets, for water, for chemistry complex enough to support life. It orbits the galaxy at a distance where conditions are relatively stable, avoiding the crowded, more dangerous regions near the core and the sparse outskirts where heavy elements are scarce. As the Sun travels, it moves gently up and down through the galactic plane, bobbing like a slow-moving vessel on a vast cosmic sea. This motion takes tens of millions of years, rising and falling in a rhythm too slow to notice, yet steady all the same. Even the Sun does not follow a perfectly straight path. Everything sways, slightly, in response to gravity's quiet pull. You are carried along in this motion, supported without effort. There is nothing you need to hold in place. The galaxy's gravity does that for you. Your breath aligns with slower rhythms now, drawn into the calm of long cycles that began long before you and will continue long after. The Milky Way does not judge, does not rush, does not demand. It simply exists, turning slowly, offering space for stars to form, for planets to settle, for life to emerge and rest. You are allowed to share in that stillness. Let your thoughts soften. Let the vastness take over the work of holding things together. You can rest here, suspended in motion so gentle it feels like sleep. The Milky Way continues its quiet motion, and you can let yourself sink a little deeper now. carried by rhythms that have no need for attention. Out here, change happens slowly, stretched across distances and durations so vast that urgency simply dissolves. The galaxy does not rush toward an ending. It moves in cycles, patient and untroubled. Stars are born, but they are also free to wander. Over time, many drift far from the places where they first ignited. Gravitational interactions, gentle nudges from spiral arms, and subtle resonances shift their paths. Some stars migrate inward toward the brighter regions of the disk. Others move outward, settling into quieter orbits. Even the sun is not where it began. Its long journey through the Milky Way has already carried it far from its birthplace. In dense regions, stars sometimes form in clusters, sharing the same origin, the same chemical fingerprint. These clusters may stay together for millions of years, but the galaxy is vast and gravity is complex. Slowly, the clusters loosen. Stars peel away one by one, dispersing into the wider disk until their shared origin becomes almost impossible to trace. Somewhere in the galaxy, the sun's ancient siblings still travel, unaware of their connection, moving quietly under different skies. Most stars live long, steady lives. Smaller stars burn gently for tens or even hundreds of billions of years, far longer than the current age of the universe. Larger stars live more quickly, shining brightly and dying young. When they do, they leave behind dense remnants, white dwarfs, neutron stars, or black holes, objects that continue to influence their surroundings through gravity alone. Neutron stars are especially remarkable. Formed when massive stars collapse, they pack more mass than the sun into a sphere only a few kilometers wide. Some spin rapidly, emitting beams of radiation that sweep across space like lighthouse signals. These pulsars tick with astonishing regularity, so precise that they rival atomic clocks. Across the Milky Way, they mark time quietly, counting out moments on a scale far removed from daily life. Black holes, too, are scattered throughout the galaxy, remnants of stars that collapsed completely. Most are silent, invisible unless material happens to fall toward them. When it does, gas heats and glows, briefly revealing the black hole's presence. Even then, the process is slow and distant. Space allows these extremes to exist without disturbance. The Milky Way is threaded with magnetic fields, faint but far-reaching. These fields guide charged particles, shape the motion of cosmic rays, and influence how gas clouds collapse. They weave through the disk and rise into the halo, forming invisible patterns that stretch across thousands of light years. Though unseen, they are part of the galaxy's quiet structure, another layer holding everything gently in place. Much of what defines the Milky Way cannot be seen directly. Dark matter surrounds the galaxy in a vast halo, outweighing all the stars and gas combined. It does not shine or interact with light, yet its gravitational pull shapes the galaxy's form and motion. Without it, stars at the edges would drift away. With it, they remain bound, moving calmly along paths that endure. Astronomers trace this invisible mass by watching how stars move, how gas flows, how galaxies interact. From these subtle clues, the outline of something unseen emerges, like a presence felt but not touched. The Milky Way rests within this unseen embrace, stable and enduring. On the largest scales, gravitational waves ripple through space itself, born from distant collisions, black holes merging, neutron stars spiraling together. These waves travel across the universe, passing silently through galaxies, through Earth, through you. They stretch and compress space by amounts too small to feel, yet their passage reminds us that the universe is never truly still, even in its calmest moments. The Milky Way has known encounters and disruptions, but today it moves through a quieter chapter. Its disk shows signs of past interactions, lopsided arms, uneven thickness, subtle asymmetries. But nothing violent is happening now. Instead, the galaxy settles, slowly adjusting, smoothing out old disturbances over billions of years. In the far outer regions, faint stars orbit at great distances, defining the galaxy's reach. These stars take immense amounts of time to complete a single orbit, sometimes longer than the age of the universe itself. They are sentinels at the edge, tracing the boundary between the Milky Way and the wider darkness beyond. Beyond that darkness lie other galaxies, each with its own quiet story, its own slow rhythms, Together, they form larger structures, clusters, and filaments stretching across the cosmos. Even these vast arrangements move slowly, guided by gravity across scales that dwarf all familiar measures of time. As you rest, you are part of this layered motion, nested within motions. Earth turning, the sun orbiting, the galaxy drifting, the universe expanding. None of it requires effort from you. None of it asks you to keep pace. Your body understands rest. Your breath flows in its own gentle rhythm, steady and unforced. With each breath out, you can let go a little more, allowing the scale of the universe to carry what you no longer need to hold. The Milky Way does not mind your stillness. It does not notice your pause. Its vastness leaves room for quiet moments, for sleep, for letting go. You are supported by structures older and steadier than any concern, held within a system that has carried stars safely for billions of years. And as the galaxy continues its slow turn, you can follow it inward, drifting closer to sleep, knowing that everything essential continues on its own, without your attention, without your effort, perfectly content to move while you rest. The motion of the Milky Way continues, but now it feels distant, like something happening far away, while you remain comfortably still. The galaxy does not need observation to exist. It does not require understanding. It turns whether it is noticed or not, steady and untroubled, carrying everything within it through the dark with gentle certainty. Far into the future, long after many of today's stars have faded, the Milky Way will still be here, changed but intact. New stars will rise from cooled clouds. Old stars will dim and drift. The balance between gravity and motion will continue to shape the galaxy in forms that feel familiar, even as they evolve. There is no final version of the Milky Way, only an ongoing becoming. Eventually, the gas that fuels star formation will grow scarce. The galaxy will enter a quieter era, where fewer stars are born and the existing ones age peacefully. This future Milky Way will glow more softly, lit by long-lived, faint stars that shine steadily for trillions of years. Even then, there will be no sudden ending, only a gradual dimming, stretched across time so vast it loses all sharpness. The universe itself is expanding, slowly increasing the distance between galaxies. Over immense spans of time, many galaxies will drift beyond each other's reach, their light fading as space stretches between them. Yet within the Milky Way, gravity will continue to hold stars together, maintaining a sense of closeness, of shared motion, long after the wider universe has grown quiet and dark. On scales like these, endings soften into transitions. Nothing stops all at once. Everything slows, spreads, and settles. This is the natural rhythm of the cosmos, and it is gentle. As you rest, you are aligned with that rhythm. Your body knows how to slow, how to release tension, how to drift towards sleep without force. Each breath out becomes an invitation to sink further into stillness, trusting that the universe does not require vigilance from you. The Milky Way does not watch. It does not judge. It does not keep score. It simply exists, vast and patient, offering a sense of belonging that does not need explanation. You are one small part of its structure, and that is enough. You do not need to be large to matter. You do not need to be constant to belong. Somewhere above you, unseen, the night sky stretches wide. Stars rise and set with the turning earth. The galactic core remains hidden behind dust and distance, glowing softly in wavelengths beyond sight. The spiral arms continue their slow dance, stars moving through them, like thoughts drifting through a quiet mind. Nothing presses in on you here. The scale of the galaxy makes space for rest, for silence, for sleep. Problems that felt close begin to feel far away, not because they disappear, but because they are no longer held so tightly. The universe is large enough to carry them without effort. Your awareness can soften now, no longer needing to follow every idea, every image. Let them pass like distant stars, present for a moment, then gone. There is no need to hold on to them. The Milky Way does not hold on to individual moments either. It allows them to pass, replaced by others, in a steady, unbroken flow. Even as you sleep, the galaxy will continue. Stars will move, light will travel, gravity will guide everything gently onward. You do not need to stay awake to ensure this happens. It has been unfolding for billions of years without interruption. You are safe to let go. Your breathing is slow now. Your body is heavy and supported. Your thoughts are quiet or drifting, or already fading. The Milky Way surrounds you, not as something distant, but as the space you are already within. It holds you without effort, the same way it holds stars and planets and clouds of gas, all moving together through the dark. There is nothing left to do tonight, nothing left to understand, nothing left to follow. Just this gentle motion, continuing on its own. And as the galaxy turns, slowly and endlessly, you can drift fully into sleep, knowing that the universe remains awake for you, calm and patient, carrying everything forward while you rest.